Imagine stepping into the deepest, darkest corners of the Amazon jungle, an emerald labyrinth where time stands still, where whispers of the past drift through the trees, and where the line between myth and reality blurs. Now imagine searching for something unthinkable, a lost city hidden for centuries, whose very existence defies modern understanding. What if I told you this isn't just a tale told around campfires, but the real-life obsession of one of history's boldest explorers, a man who vanished into the green abyss, leaving behind only mystery and myth? Today, we're diving deep into the chilling and captivating mystery behind the lost city of Z, and the man who gave everything to find it. Our story begins in 1925 with Colonel Percy Harrison Fawcett, an officer, a gentleman, and a living legend in the world of exploration. Fawcett wasn't just another thrill-seeker, he was a man of vision, deeply committed to the mysteries of our world. Having mapped the wild frontiers of South America for the Royal Geographical Society, he'd witnessed firsthand the untamed heart of the Amazon. But Fawcett believed there was more than flora and fauna in the jungle. He believed in a lost city, a place unlike any other, a beacon of a forgotten civilization, filled with stone temples, towering columns, and ancient wisdom. He called it simply Z. What inspired this belief? An old 18th century manuscript, Manuscript 512, housed in Brazil's National Library. It described a city with arches, wide streets, and inscriptions that no one could decipher. Romanesque in design, yet surrounded by jungle. How could such a place exist? Was it real, or just the fevered fantasy of explorers? Fawcett believed it was real. He believed it with every fiber of his being. In April 1925, Fawcett set out on what he called the Great Adventure. Accompanied by his young son Jack and his son's best friend Raleigh Ramel, he ventured from Cuiabá into the uncharted interior of Brazil. They carried supplies, mules, journals, and an unshakable belief in destiny. Letters from Fawcett paint a picture of beauty and dread, glowing fungi lighting their path at night, the air thick with humidity, their clothes soaked with sweat and rain. They named one spot Dead Horse Camp after a tragic earlier expedition. It was from here that Fawcett sent his final letter home, closing with the haunting words, "You need have no fear of failure." But what Fawcett didn't know was that someone might have been watching. That was the last anyone ever heard from them. No more letters, no footprints, no broken equipment, just silence. The disappearance gripped the world. Fawcett was not a nobody. He was a war veteran, a seasoned explorer, and a hero to many. Newspapers from London to New York splashed his face across their pages. Theories abounded. Expeditions, more than a dozen, were launched in pursuit. Some returned empty-handed. Others didn't return at all. Among them was Peter Fleming, brother of James Bond creator Ian Fleming, who later wrote a book about his failed attempt to find the missing men. Even tribes who had seen white men rarely, if ever, spoke of pale ghosts who had passed long ago. Was it Fawcett they saw? No one could confirm. This wasn't just a rescue mission. It became an obsession, an international fixation with a man who had become part of the jungle's mythos. Entire careers were made and broken in search of Fawcett. The Amazon doesn't give up its secrets easily. Many believe the trio died at the hands of hostile tribes, possibly for trespassing sacred lands. Some suggest disease or starvation ended their quest. Yet other stories tell of a white-haired man, dressed in rags, living deep within the forest. Could this have been Fawcett? And then there's the spiritual theory. Fawcett was drawn to theosophy, a movement that sought higher wisdom through ancient truths. He believed in Atlantis, in reincarnation, and in forces greater than man. Perhaps Z was not just a city to him. Perhaps it was a spiritual homeland, a place beyond geography. Did he find it and choose never to leave? Some researchers believe Fawcett had grown disillusioned with the modern world. The war, the politics, the greed. Perhaps he saw in Z a final refuge, a paradise untouched by civilization's corruption. A chilling thought that he found what he sought, and it changed him forever. For decades, mainstream historians dismissed Fawcett's quest as fantasy, but technology has a way of rewriting the past. In the early 2000s, archaeologists using Lidar technology discovered massive ruins beneath the Amazon's canopy. Towns, road systems, and geometric earthworks, evidence of sophisticated societies long before European contact. Sites like Kuhikugu, not far from Fawcett's path, revealed defensive walls, ceremonial centers, and massive populations. These were not primitive jungle tribes. They were urbanized, organized, and advanced. Fawcett may have been mocked in his time, but science is slowly validating what he always believed. The Amazon was once home to civilizations as complex as those in Mesoamerica or Mesopotamia. Zed may not be one city, it might be dozens, hidden, buried, waiting to be revealed. Some of these ruins even display agricultural planning, water irrigation, and evidence of trade between distant communities. Suddenly, the idea of a metropolis in the jungle doesn't seem so far-fetched. To the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the jungle was never empty. It was alive, with spirits, ancestors, and histories passed down through generations. Tribes like the Kalapalo, Kwikuro, and Yawalapiti have oral traditions that speak of powerful cities, of foreign men who came seeking them, and of sacred lands protected by nature itself. Fawcett may not have fully understood the cultural significance of the land he entered. To him, it was a place of mystery. To them, it was home. That tension between explorer and native, between seeker and guardian, still echoes today. Fawcett's story has inspired novels, comic books, documentaries, and films. In 2016, The Lost City of Z brought his tale to the big screen, reintroducing the world to a man driven by discovery and consumed by the unknown. He influenced characters like Indiana Jones and Lara Croft, not just in their adventures, but in their obsession with what lies beyond the edge of the map. His legend is woven into the fabric of modern exploration storytelling. Yet unlike his fictional counterparts, Fawcett never came back. The Amazon, once seen as a green void, is now understood as a cradle of ancient civilization. But it is also under threat from deforestation, illegal mining, and climate change. Each year, the forest loses more of its cover, and with it, we may be losing undiscovered cities, unrecorded histories, and untold stories. Fawcett may have wandered into the unknown, but today, we risk erasing that unknown before we even understand it. We may never know what became of Percy Fawcett, Jack, and Raleigh, but their story pushes us to question what we accept as truth and what we dare to imagine. Somewhere out there, beyond the trees, something ancient may still be waiting. What secrets do you think lie in the heart of the jungle? If you could follow in Fawcett's footsteps, would you? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell so you don't miss our next dive into the world's greatest mysteries. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop exploring.